guys. Welcome to the Updownstate Podcast.
What's up?
Named for the fact that we lived upstate and we moved downstate. I'm Nichole. I'm the oldest. And this is my nerddom behind us.
I'm Beth. So I'm the middle of the three of us.
I am Brian. I am the youngest, and I am the king of the north because I stayed up longer, even though I semi-moved down here for 2 months.
If you didn't guess, we are siblings. I know we all kind
Depends on the
of...
day.
Yeah, to be confirmed. No, I'm kidding.
Mari, if you're out there, I've sent multiple emails to you. Please respond. And yeah, so we are all siblings, and basically we're just gonna take this opportunity and to showcase our interests, take you guys back in time and just kind of BS and joke around because that's what siblings do best.
We're gonna take our trauma and make it funny for you guys.
This is a new kind of podcast. It's called a traumedy. So
We could sell a lot of movie tickets.
we sure could.
We get to write our book. We gotta wait for some people to.
Yeah.
I do think I would say a big part of this podcast is going to be how we have really focused on changing the story for our children.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part that we'll talk about throughout the podcast is how did we stop really that cycle that was happening, not just for us, for generations in our family. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, those generational bad habits really that just went down or passed from children to children, how we raise children, how we treat each other within our family. So I think that a lot of people are doing the same thing that we're doing, but we're going to talk about it and kind of just put it out there.
Yeah, talk about it. Talk about what things have changed in our lives and how we've coped with it. For me, separations and having to co-parent, having children with ADHD, being an adult with ADHD.
Being a parent in general is just something that, kind of threw me for a loop because I would have never saw myself as a dad, ever.
I think I would have always seen you as a dad, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I at one point I saw us all as parents, but I will never forget. I did. You have always been. I am the oldest, but she is our protector.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so know this, that you have always been a protector. And I knew that would come down at some point to children.
Do you know that's so funny? I think about that all the time. When I think about our childhood and how I was always deemed the protector, and I was because that's just it was for me. You come at me all day long, but you come after my sister or brother, we're just gonna go around. Right? We'll throw hands. I don't care how old.
It's on sight.
Touch what I dare you. Right? Well, my daughter now will say, "Where's my protector?" So, if she's in a situation where, she's scared or something happened or it's a bad storm or whatever, and she'll say, well, we needed our protector.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny how that correlates now even into my life, today with my kids. So.
Yeah, Beth, I would say, is kind of like our glue, too. She's a protector. She's also the one that kind of protects the familial bond. She's the one that can handle all of it, where, I can't. I'd probably have some less people in my life if not for her, because I would have walked out of those situations. People saying nothing thicker than family, and I just don't agree with that because I think.
Well, I think there's different types, right? So I go by the fact of blood doesn't make you related or blood doesn't make you family.
Exactly.
Because obviously Chris and Jake are my two closest friends, and I consider them more family than family.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there are things that you should separate yourself from someone.
Toxic people, whether they're family or not.
Right, for sure.
All the posts that you guys see coming through Facebook and Instagram, this guy.
Yeah.
And so the one, I'm sorry about the picture.
And you're like, that's not the same girl. You're basically right. Great picture of me, by the way. But it is very old. It's pre. I think I was just in college. It's pre-children. It's pre.
Right. But all the stuff that I put with it. So obviously with best picture, right? I put the overprotective one, who will do just about anything but change a diaper, and that's very true. That is to a T.
I will not allow a child to sit in a dirty diaper. Okay, I never will. However. If there is anyone else in the vicinity that can change that diaper, and they're gonna have to do it.
So let's go through and we'll talk about some of our interests just as individuals, because like we have similar interests, but we also have different interests, and so it kind of gives you guys the opportunity to really get us know her on a deeper scale. And if you hear some of these and you're like, oh, that's really cool, can you talk about that some more? Hit us up. Like, again, you'll basically be talking to me, so not any computer generated AI thing.
I don't know if like he's just like patting his own back or calling us like tech stupid. So I don't
No,
I don't know how to take
no. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy.
Ryan, what are your interests?
What are my interests?
What do you like to do?
Mr. IT?
On the
That's
spot.
definitely an interest.
My mind just went blank. So my interests include obviously anything that is in the realm of technology. So whether it be, computer stuff or, stuff like this, I thoroughly enjoy.
A whole home theater system.
Also on the geeky side, I also like to collect Legos. So Legos is a big interest, a part of my life. And then, pop figures, theme parks is a really big interest of mine, and, really sports. I'm a pretty generic guy.
You know what has always surprised me is just how geeky you are and how much you're into technology, and you are not a gamer.
Like I feel like I would be, but I feel like I have no time because I like to do stuff like this. But I would love to sit down and like rip through a game or something. I could spend hours, especially when like the Arkham Batman series games came out. Those were my absolute favorite. I would spend hours and hours playing them. But those are some of my interests. I'm typical nerd guy, with my kind of interest, because there are two things that a man needs to choose when he turns 30 is either podcasting and technological stuff or landscaping. If you know our father, Dad went after the landscaping. I did not. I went for this stuff. I get to stay inside with the air conditioning. Yeah, that's the route that I took.
Yeah, definitely the pampered one. Got three of us in front. Has to be inside, like he's gonna do his technical stuff. He's not gonna be the one. Well, I can't say that because he will, like he helped. We did Mom and Dad's deck. He's hanging your shelf. Like, he is handy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He just definitely chooses the more technical stuff, which is great because I don't choose it. So.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I don't even know. For hobbies, for me now, I mean, look, I have pretty busy professional life that keeps me busy, but then outside of that, I think am more so focused on like my family in general, just making sure that I have a child that's at the age of, she's in middle school and she's extremely busy, so that takes up a lot of my time between soccer practices and everything else. But I think personally for me, I enjoy, sports is always a big part of my life. Obviously you guys know I played softball competitively for all of my childhood and into my later teen years, so I will always love that, and any chance I get to put a bat in my hands and jump in a batting cage, I'm going to do it. But outside of that, I have definitely, my brother has rubbed off his Lego addiction on me. And,
Truth.
For like my Zen time, like putting together a Lego set is
so therapeutic.
A great therapeutic moment you get to have. So I've got several Lego sets as well. That I enjoy to do, and then I love board games. All of us do. Mm-hmm. So, game nights is something that we hold near and dear. So, and we'll probably record some game nights because they can get pretty fun. The board games, and then we grew up playing cards as a dominant part of our family, so we love to play cards. I love
not me cards. So much.
I love to when I get time, if I can throw something on my Traeger and grill, I'm gonna do it. Like that to me is fun. I went out last night and got some steaks just so I could use the Traeger. So I like to do that kind of stuff. So I did a lot of busy stuff when I was younger that I really enjoy, just like calmer, fun things as an adult. Like, you're not gonna find me out and about. I enjoy the beach. I go every year to the beach. I love the Gulf of Mexico. Like, that is my happy place, and I enjoy that. But it's all centered around family. I think almost all, except for softball, I think every part of what I enjoy is around my family. It's your turn.
So now that you guys have talked, I kind of feel like I have a lot of hobbies. So I'm a nerd. I said, welcome to my nerdom. I play D&D. I love D&D. I'm a dungeon master. It's one of my favorite things. I'm a gamer. I love to game. There's a whole bunch of gaming stuff around us. We like anime. I love to read. I like to cook. And I'm also a soccer mom. I'm taking classes right now, too, to get my business management degree. So that keeps me pretty busy, too. I actually haven't been reading nearly as much as I like to. I'm kind of in like a little slump right now. When I game, it's mostly PC gaming. I do game a little bit on console, but I really do enjoy PC gaming. I have like some favorite sports teams, but like I'm not like super into sports like these guys are. I don't do any of the fantasy stuff or anything. I like board games a lot, like we all do. I like to play games. I do a little bit of TikToking I make some jewelry. I just started doing that, and I do that on TikTok and sell in my Etsy shop. And my kids are nerds too, so like I'm not just like ignoring my kids and playing games. A lot of times we'll play together and read and.
Disclaimer: We're not
ignoring my children.
Our hobbies.
No, it's okay. We slid food underneath the door before they went in, so they're fine. They're okay. I'm a little on the opposite end of you. I didn't grow up in sports. You know, Dad tried, right? Then never took to him.
I played 1 year of soccer, and everybody gave up on me.
I played soccer once. I did Charlie Brown a ball and break my wrist. You know, I say that, and it's hilarious because, one, you don't use your hands in soccer unless you're a goalie. I was not. I was just highly uncoordinated. But what's funny is, like, 2 weeks before that, I always say that me breaking my arm was karma, because 2 weeks before that, I broke Thomas Bardenett. I broke his leg through his shin guards. We clashed shin guards, and he broke his leg, and he could never play sports again.
Really?
Yeah, and he had to get rods down his leg. It was bad. Like my leg. Yeah, my leg was fine, but
you just had it
yeah,
in the right spot or something.
Yeah, it was like Muay Thai, kicking a banana tree, and it just broke.
Blood sport moment where you like just came through.
Yeah, kickboxer, Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of stuff. Like, I felt so bad, and I was like helping him through the school because he had crutches. I was carrying his stuff, like, because I felt so bad. And then like 2 weeks later, I break my arm, and his dad was the coach. Let me just put that: his dad was the coach, and I just felt terrible. Oh, I felt so bad for doing that.
When you broke your arm, that was awful.
Okay, here we go. I can tell a story because I lived it.
Give me the heebie-jeebies.
All right, so yes, my arm was kind of hanging down. It kind of looked a little swiggly. First of all, you know what Coach said? Coach said, "Give him some Advil. He'll be fine." Dad coming.
He was so mad. He was
right.
so salty.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. So Dad comes and picks me up from practice, and I'm sitting in there in the office, right? And I'm trying to hold strong, right? And Coach is just like, just give him some Advil. He'll be all right. I get in the car. I just let loose. I just let loose. And so we stop at home. I remember we stopped at home because I think you were there. A couple of my friends were at the house, and they were asking me what's wrong. I think Dad told them that I broke my wrist. So we get to Mom's Dr. B's office. They pull me back, right? And so first of all, they take an x-ray. I get into the room. They give me some shots that are supposed to help drug me. They don't help. They pull me in for an x-ray.
They did help, and it was just that bad. Okay, sorry.
It may help some, but let me tell you what.
But they take an x-ray, so my arm or my wrist wasn't completely broken. So before they could set it, they had to completely break it. And so now Dr. B's probably roughly my size. At this point, he's probably right. He's a big guy. He was a big guy.
He was a big guy.
He's a big guy, and I just remember he grabs my wrist, and Mom and Dad both are holding me.
I know.
And he starts pulling, tugging, twisting, and everything, and I'm just screaming my head off.
Bloody murder. Like, I'm sitting in the waiting room and I can hear him screaming.
Yeah.
And I'm crying because he's screaming.
And
like, oh my God, they're killing him.
And so screaming my head off, right? So finally, right, they break it completely. I go back for another x-ray because they got to see where it's at, and then I go back and forth like 4 other times because they do the same thing. They move it around, try to get it close to reset it. And so I'm going back and forth between the office and the x-ray.
I think they were like right next to each other.
Yep, and it was like right around the corner. And I still remember the x-ray tech, Tony. was doing it, and you could just see everybody's faces. Everybody's faces were just like white, right? Because they know.
My response would have been, "You should probably take him to the emergency room."
If you were to ask Mom now, Mom would say, "Hey, we probably should have taken you not just to the ER, but to an orthopedic doctor, orthopedic surgeon." To get my wrist, because even now, like, I can't bend my wrist all the way back. But anyways, they get it, and they get it close enough is literally the medical term that they used and everything. And I just remember I'm sitting in the wheelchair, right? I'm just drained, like physically, emotionally, mentally, just drained. I remember Carol, Mom's friend. I remember Carol. She was who was also a nurse.
And they're all awesome.
They were all awesome, right? She asked me, she was, I don't know if she was asking me or she was just asking a general question about, like, did they get it? Did it work? I looked at her, I said, I don't know, Carol. Why don't you look at all the goddamn x-rays that they took? Because I was pissed. I was so mad.
Yeah, I bet.
And then I just remember after that, right, they put me in an air cast and they get me back to the car, and I get back in the car and I pass out. So I don't know if that was like the drugs finally kicking in, or I was just so exhausted after all that. It was probably both.
Yeah.
And I just passed out, and I don't think I woke up until the next day. Trying to rotate back to the direction I was going before the arm break, before the break in intermission. About like my life growing up between now is like I didn't do a whole lot outside like adventurous stuff as a kid. Like we went to theme parks and Darien Lake, and every once in a while took a couple trips down here to Tennessee. But like now I love to travel. Like any chance that I get, I want to go somewhere, and I don't care where it is, just somewhere. My wife and I, we've taken multiple trips to Universal and to Florida. I've gone back home to New York a bunch of times, but we've gone to Chicago, we've gone to St. Louis, Chattanooga, we all went to.
I think you're also one of the only ones of us that have left the country.
So.
I usually have to be forced to go places. I have a very low social battery. So, like, I will go to, like, Florida to, like, visit family, but, like, I don't think I've ever gone with you guys on the big family beach vacation.
No, and, like, when we went, like me and you went down in February, and it's very low key. Like just hung out with Nami and Joe, and I think maybe went to Dunedin once, and that really it was real low key. Like when we go in the summer on our family vacations, like we're hardcore beaching it. We're getting on a dolphin tours. We're taking a kid. Like we took the two older kids with us this year. We went. Drove into Tampa, went to their zoo. Phenomenal. If you get a chance to go to Tampa Zoo, you should do it because
I know I want to go to Tampa Zoo.
100% worth the admission cost, and it's cheaper than Nashville Zoo.
Yeah. Well,
it's set up so freaking awesome.
Well, the St. Louis Zoo is really nice too, and the St. Louis Zoo is free, which is nice. I mean, you pay for parking, but I think parking is like $20. But it's really nice.
I will do those things for the kids so they can experience it. But when it is over, I am drained. Like
which is so funny because like when it comes to like conversating with people, you're like probably the best at it out of the three of us. Like when you
do you know why?
Communicate with like a parent. Like we had this conversation kind of the other day. Like you'll talk to like one of your kids' friends' parents. Like it's all good. I like run and hide from that situation. I'm like, my wife, you're up.
So there's a couple reasons there. Is one because of the way I grew up and I became a people pleaser. Mm-hmm. So people pleasers are very easy maskers. They're very good actors and actresses. Fake it till you make it. And then ADHD also causes me to overshare. If I'm talking about something that I want to talk about, I don't have trouble talking about it. And masking, again, is another ADHD thing. So if you've ever like heard I'm an introvert, but I play an extrovert on TV. Yeah. I am talking to people. I am super uncomfortable in those situations. But because I've spent so much time people pleasing, which is basically just like me. Please like me. I can hold a conversation with somebody and with a smile on my face. Oh, super uncomfortable when I'm doing it. And when I get home, I don't want anybody to talk to me. Yeah. I'm like, I need you guys to leave me alone. And there's been times where I set a timer on my Spy for 20 minutes. And for those 20 minutes, nobody can talk to me.
Spy, aka Alexa.
Mm-hmm. We call it the Spy. And I love it. I love those. I love that technology. But you
the music she plays in my kitchen.
Yeah. But you didn't really have that issue with trying to be a people pleaser because most people liked you.
Yeah, no, I had my own other slew of issues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but so that's why.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I think maybe because like, because of the attention that I got when I was younger around, like, sports and stuff like that, like, from my extended family. That's all I ever want to talk about, right? So, like, and I have to...
Yeah. Out of, like, all of us, Beth was probably the most liked from a family standpoint. And you can't really disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think...
I mean, mine was also because, like, I don't have a good filter. I would say inappropriate things. And I was too chatty. These were all undiagnosed.
Yeah, but I think, too, a lot of that... So you got a lot of stuff. The dynamic in our family changed a lot. Like, when I was younger...
You were also thinner. That was a benefit for you.
Thinner,
I've always been a larger person.
I was not scared. You know, we spent the majority of our time with our dad's side of the family. Mm-hmm. We had, you know, Nani on mom's side that we spent a lot of time with because she lived so close with us. And, but, like, we didn't spend a whole lot of time with mom's extended family. Mm-hmm. So we spent most of that time with dad's extended family. I was really good at the stuff that they like to do. Yeah. I could play the sports, I could drive the go-karts and the four-wheelers and you know, the snowmobiles and all that stuff, and that was fun.
Yeah, and you were outdoorsy and sporty.
Yep.
And
I spent the first part of my childhood trying to gain, like, the attention and love from our father. Mm-hmm. He was my hero. I spent those years trying to do everything I could because I felt like if I was in his good graces, then we were all going to be okay. Yeah. Right? And then after that, the dynamic changed to, you know, we had a situation in our family where all blew to pieces, right? Like the world crumbled. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And CPS got involved, all that stuff. After that, the relationship turned to, I got a lot of attention for very unwanted things. Yeah. So then it wasn't so much of like, hey, Beth is like the favorite because, you know, she's the outdoorsy, hands-on person. It was like, oh, yeah, Elizabeth, oh, yeah. And that, like, threw me into a whole spiral. So, like, after that point, I'm like, oh, screw all y'all. I'm going to just do me, which was really bad. And then, you know, you come out of that stuff and grow up.
Yeah, I think, honestly, coming to Tennessee, so we talk about, like, why we came. When I was with my children's father, we had already decided that we were not going to stay in New York. Neither one of us wanted to stay there. I don't like the cold. Upstate New York had its boom 150 years ago with the Erie Canal, so stuff was just not growing. So we were going to move to the Carolinas. I think part of you coming down was to kind of get out of the situation that you were in, but also to follow me. Yeah. I don't know if that makes sense. Because at that point, we were still pretty close. Yeah. Like, growing up, we fought like cats, but by that time, we were getting into our best friend stage.
Oh, yeah. But I came here for you because of the situation that you had found out. So,
well, yeah. So I found out I was pregnant. I moved here and we moved down the end of August. And like 2 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. I was living with my parents. I had not found a job yet. And I found out I was pregnant with my oldest daughter.
And she called me. And I was living with my aunt at the time, who, shout out to my Aunt Annie, man. She's like second mom to me. So I was living with her, and I get a phone call from my sister, and I love my aunt, but there's no service where she lives. So I have to go outside. So I'm standing in Bridgeport, New York, in the middle of the road, the only place I can hear what my sister's saying. And I make out that she tells me, I'm pregnant, but you can't say anything yet. And I am in hysterical tears.
And then you immediately told Zach.
But I'm in the road and I'm just hysterically, I'm so happy. I'm coming down there. I was like, there's no way I'm missing that, right? So if anyone was wondering, you know what, almost 13 years ago now, who the crazy woman crying in the middle of the street was. But I had to walk back into the house, like, full of people. My aunt and uncle and stuff were there. And I'm, like, red-faced, like, crying. What's wrong? Like, nothing. It's okay. Like, I'll tell you later. But it was a good moment.
But yeah, to say that it was really good that you left.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my migration came a little bit later. As I mentioned, I moved down. So, and I joke all the time about mom and dad leaving me. Yeah. You know, because like,
they sure did though.
They did. They did. Like, I literally turned 18, graduated high school, and then mom and dad were like, "Here's your graduation party. Peace out, we're later." And so I ended up staying with Nani and Joe. School wasn't a thing for me. Right. I feel like, you know, maybe the mom and dad thing affected me because I felt like didn't have them there.
The abandonment issues there, Brian, have got to be real. Like,
yeah, and so I moved in with my uncle Johnny, and my cousin Matt. Moved in with them because they lived like right up the road from where I was staying, and so I stayed with them. And Uncle Johnny was kind of the same way. He was like, listen, just go to school, blah blah blah, all this stuff, trying to stay on my back. I wasn't listening. Basically, he was like, hey, listen, if you're not gonna go to school, like, you have to work. Couldn't find a job. Like, I even applied for McDonald's, which obviously I had already experienced working at McDonald's. Didn't get hired. So mom and dad were like, hey, if these things aren't working out, you're gonna come live with us. Because I moved down in November. I came down with a backpack and a suitcase. When mom and dad went up, they picked up a lot of my stuff with your stuff. I was only down here for 2 months. Like, before I left, like, Tara and I started dating, right? So we'd started dating at the beginning of November, moved down here at the end of November, right around Thanksgiving or just after Thanksgiving. Moved down here, and I was down here 2 months. I remember Tara came down and visited, like, super fresh, right, relationship. And we're like, oh, she's gonna move down here and we're gonna get an apartment together. And we were looking at apartments and all this stuff. And then she went back home. The long distance relationship was like, man, this sucks.
Oh, you guys did it for so long.
And I know. And so I was like, man, this sucks. And at that point, I was like, I wasn't sold on the Tennessee thing. I was like, maybe mom and dad will move back. Move back up to Syracuse, move in with Tara and her mom. And
yeah, so 3-month relationship. Shout out to Cindy.
Yeah.
For being the cool
being
mom.
open. I mean, look where they are now. Like, imagine if they only lasted like 6 months.
I know.
But
Yeah.
at least it worked out.
Yeah. So move back in with them, right? Go through the rest of my life.
When my kids was 18, when I let their boyfriends move in.
Yeah.
Maybe if they're abandoned by their parents.
Maybe if their parents left them after high school graduation.
And Brian was not the man he is today. He was
No,
mature.
no, I was
mature.
No, I was nowhere near close to what I am today. So I moved back with them, live my life, right? Work jobs, do a little bit of traveling. We hit this peak. I'm working at, the same company that you're working at now, and that Tara was working at, that Cindy's working at, and I end up working there, and I'm there like 6 months, loving the job, loving the hours. I get let go. Like, that was like a whole like turning point for me. I was like, man, like this sucks. Like, I'm crying because I had never really been like fired from a job.
Yeah, that mattered.
A job that mattered. And I'm like, man, like, this sucks. And like, so that was probably like a big turning point. And that was a big turning point for the both of us. I got let go in January. We were getting married in August. And so I go back to restaurant work, because I knew it was a guaranteed job. Went back to that. Eventually started working in East Syracuse. Loved that. And eventually was able to put in like a transfer to go from New York to Tennessee when we made the decision that, hey, we're going to move. And so I started there like early spring, during the busy, before the busy time, and then put in to be transferred. It wasn't a hard decision for me, because obviously you guys were down here. Mom and dad were down here, right?
Your nieces.
My nieces. So really kudos to Tara, because she's got to leave her family. She's got to leave her mom, right? So it was a big decision for us. We moved down here. We're all together, right? Eventually we get our own house. And then kind of the same thing that brought you down is what brought Cindy down, right? Tara got pregnant with our first kid. Cindy was like, peace out, New York.
Yeah. I ain't never looked back. Cindy's a great mom, but like part of me feels like she was born to be your grandma.
Oh, 100%.
She's a great grandma.
100%. She came down and visited a couple times, and she came down, saw it. One, Cindy is another not a fan of the cold, right? So she doesn't like the cold. She doesn't like the snow. I'm an Elsa type. The cold never bothered me anyways. The only thing that ever bothers me is like when my feet get super cold. So like, but like when I come here or like when I go to Beth's house, like I have to keep my shoes on. Because if I take my shoes off, my toes are going to freeze. And I got like these long...
It's crazy because it's 68 in here now. And I'm still not as cold in here as I am at your house.
There was one day I was over here. I was actually hanging stuff. And so I went to leave and it was, 68 or whatever in here. And when I walked outside, my tools had condensation on them because it was so hot outside. And so So like my tool, my bit case, which is clear, started fogging. Need to invest in some of those like little glasses windshield wipers. So yeah, that's basically what brought me to Tennessee was family and a big decision and downward spiral of what is New York. But like all the money and all the taxes that you would pay for, to support New York goes majority to New York City rather than, some of the other places that need it to maintain it. And so I hate that. But like if that was any different, I'd probably still be there.
New York, South New York. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. If the Vatican can be its own country, why can't New York City just be its own state? Yeah, it could. And Long Island. They can get Long Island too. I don't like them either. They're rich prick.
Well, that whole thing.
Yeah, that whole
thing would be its own.
Yeah, New York City and Long Island. And I can tell you like how much I have a love-hate relationship with them because I love visiting New York City. I have a New York City mapped phone case on my phone. Love to visit. But again, I hate what it does for New York.
Oh, like where we're from, we say upstate, but that's just because if you ever talk to anybody that's not from central New York, it's upstate.
It's the easiest way to explain it because if you say New York down here, everyone immediately believes you're from New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes I have to pull out a map and like upstate. What's upstate?
You get every once in a while, you find a sports fan in Syracuse. They register because of SU basketball.
Yeah, because of SU basketball. I mean,
so,
in football.
But it's rare. Remember when we first moved down? I don't know that you were with us. You were with us when we were at Buffalo Wild Wings watching an SU basketball game. I just moved down here. Maybe you weren't with us. I don't know. But Mom and Dad were definitely. And
if you start a sentence with "Do you remember?" I would like you to just assume I don't.
Well,
do you remember the 21st night of September?
Remember the 5th of November?
The SU basketball game, and they scored and something. And so, like, we all started cheering at the table, and then, like, 2 tables over, this other family started standing up cheering. Like, we're like, woo, like, oh, are you from Syracuse? And the husband was, and they had a kid that was attending Syracuse University.
Oh, nice.
I'll tell you that driving, if I take the back roads from where I work now to the interstate, I pass a house that flies a Syracuse University flag.
Does it really?
That's awesome.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll see somebody with like something SU on.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, I'm from Syracuse, even though now I've lived a third of my life down here.
Yeah.
So I moved here when I was 22.
Yeah.
Maybe, probably 22, and I just turned 35 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky enough, and you can probably hear. You can definitely hear it in Beth's voice. A lot of people, say like we've lived down here for I've almost been here 10 years. They've been down here 13 years. You can hear sort of the accent coming to Beth. She's got a born and raised lady that she lives with.
Yeah, her wife was born and raised here.
Okay, I really feel like when I moved here.
It depends who you're talking to.
Yeah, when I moved here and I found my current employer, I was dealing with customers all day long.
Yep.
And I was hearing about things like, we should do a segment. I'm going to quiz you on these southern terms. Can anyone tell me, please, what is a sprinkler bucket?
A sprinkler bucket?
A sprinkler bucket. Anyone?
So is that a bucket where you put the hose in it? Like your garden hose, and you put it in, and like it's a storage for a garden hose? I'm in it. All right.
It's a watering can.
I would like to.
Oh, a sprinkler.
It's a watering can.
Okay.
I have no food for 1 minute.
Okay, but anyway, my point is, I was dealing with people all day long telling me all these country as hell terms for everything, and all I was hearing was country accents, right? All day long.
I also feel like they relate a little bit better to you if you put a little twang in your voice.
Yeah, and it probably was just part of that, like, trying to relate with the customer. Like, same thing. I call a cart a buggy. It just is.
Nope.
It just happens because
That's
every customer I dealt with. Yes, because every customer I dealt with.
Y'all got a
was
buggy around here?
Where's y'all's buggies?
So my kids were born down here. And I remember the first time somebody was like, "Where are my tennis shoes?" And I said, "Your sneakers.
Yeah,
Your sneakers are over there."
Yep.
Where are my tennis shoes?
I deal with that all day at work, and then I meet this beautiful woman who is born and raised in Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
and she's about as country as they get.
She is so country.
And I love her to death. Her and her father both. My father-in-law is a country man.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna tell you, when I determined that he was country, just know I love you, and I'm not throwing shade if you ever listen to this. I went to his house for the first time, and he has this deck he built on the back of his house, and had a bunch of carpenter bees. And I watched him take his cigarette butt and shove it in the carpenter bee hole because it keeps them carpenter bees out the wood up there. And I was like, yep, I have arrived, right? So,
Yeah.
So I have it all around me all day long. So like, you adapt to it.
Yeah. So I'm on the flip end of that. So I work for Under Armour, and a lot of the people that work at Under Armour, like there's some people who live locally that work for them, but a lot of the people that I worked with are transplants.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was either transplants from up north, or we had a lot of people that worked with us that were from, you know, the Middle East or anything like that, or just over across seas. And so, like one of my friends, Mike, he's from Erie, PA. You know, so yeah, I haven't picked up on a lot of that because I interact with them so much, and I would interact with them.
Well, yeah, that was the thing is you were in the warehouse sector, so you weren't dealing with customers.
Right. So not like I am now, you know, but even still, I don't understand. I don't get the Southern twang thing. When people come in, they ask me for stuff. I'm like, oh, what?
Do what?
Do you have a?
Do what? I always say, what do you use that for? Or what are you gonna do with that?
Right. That's when I
tell me. I'm like, follow
that, right. That's when you go to the lingo. What project are you working on?
Exactly. Just tell me a little bit
That
about what you're doing.
I know exactly where that stuff is.
Well, yeah, some of the stuff they'd come in with me, I'd be like, so, what? Like, what?
Yeah.
Well,
So it's so funny because I work from home now, but before I was working from home, I worked in banking, so I dealt with people that were like born and raised in Tennessee, and now I'm working for a company that's based in New York again, and I can definitely see like that Southern accent that like I would carry around sometimes getting pulled from me because I don't talk to people from the South that much anymore.
Yeah, and the speed of which you talk.
Oh yeah, I can talk as fast as I want now.
Oh yeah, like when I'm explaining stuff.
So fast.
When I'm explaining stuff to people and I'm trying to explain like how something works, I'll just rattle off of it, and then and they'll just look at me like, back it up, like.
I need you to run that back about.
I lost you when you said hello. My name is Brian, so I'm gonna need you to start over. Yeah, so I definitely get that, and it's just out of force of habit, especially when I'm telling a story. But I hope I never do, because I don't want the Southern twang, unfortunately. Like I love
I can't imagine you talking with a Southern accent.
No.
I don't even hear it. Like people tell me all the time, like, you know, you kind of like adapted that accent. I'm like, I don't even hear it. Like I don't, but I'm surrounded by it all day, every day. So it just, to me, it just sounds natural.
Yeah, I can't be talking like this all day. I don't like it.
That's more, honestly, how you do that is more Creole than even Southern. You're starting to sound like Gambit.
Well, you're Southern, you gotta say stuff like,
I'm about to make a name for myself.
Southern is where you gotta
You let the people know what happened here today.
I need you to play D&D with me, and I need you to do a Creole accent, please. That would be. First of all, you have to be a frog person. That would just be so a grunt.
Ooh.
That would be so good.
Oh, I tell you what I'm gonna do down here, right here.
Oh my god, that would be so great. All right, guys. You know what I think? It's time for.
I think it's time to turn back the clocks and go back in time.
I think. You know, I just take that as a compliment now. Being normal's overrated.
That's right.
I think we should check out some Facebook memories.
Some Facebook memories.
And I think we should see if we're gonna cringe or if we'll walk out of here okay.
Yeah.
Majority of the time I cringe.
I cringe a lot. I cringe a lot.
Today's Facebook memories are not as bad for me because they don't go back as far. But man, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something. I sell propane and propane accessories. Damn it, Bobby.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
I've had Facebook for 18 years.
Woo!
Like literally this month. Because when I went to college, my college roommate, I was like, hey, you want my MySpace? She's like, you don't have a Facebook? And I was like, what? And so she would only communicate with me via Facebook, which at that point you could only have
if you were in college.
if you had a college email.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had Facebook for 18 years.
Fun fact, I have 2 Facebooks. One is just a decoy for family members I don't talk to.
Honestly.
And it still has a picture of me, a mirror selfie, if you will, from when I got back from New York City when I was 18, which I kind of look like now because I'm back down to that same weight, but I just have a full beard.
So we have some videos of the kids going on fair rides.
How fun! We were at the fair yesterday.
Yeah, we were at the fair yesterday. Tennessee State Fair is going on right now. And
New York
they
State
had
Fair is
just gotten
better.
off of a ride, and I said, "Hey, was that fun?" She goes,
I did, Brian, give all the girls yesterday permission to make fun of you for the rest of their life.
Except can't.
Well, she can because she made it through the ride. They didn't stop the ride.
Oh, okay,
They
that's
tried.
true.
Remember I took you to that carnival or whatever, and there was that cage ride where you're in the cage and it spins as it goes around? Well, I had to stop that ride, y'all, because Brian was crying hysterically, which you would never guess now because he's an amusement park junkie now. But then he was crying.
You know what we need to do? We need to make a video of me overcoming my fears and getting back on that ride.
Oh, you should.
Just a super hype
Brian
video.
tried to yell at the guy and make him stop the ride. Well,
I hate to tell you, you are not going to fit in that cage.
Probably not.
all 3 of the girls made
Your
it through
knees.
yesterday. They got in there and they rode the ride. Was crying when she got off, but was borderline crying. She was definitely ready.
She said
she was clinging onto the cage. Those two were clinging onto the cage.
I thought she was going to get off of there and just be pissed that she got on. But she was okay. But you know what she said to me on the way home?
What?
She goes, the only reason I wasn't crying is because I was laughing so I wouldn't cry. She's like, I wanted to. So I just laughed instead.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah, I
I
think
can tell.
you got really long legs.
Yeah, that cage is short. Like,
That cage, that would be tough for you. I got a little picture
No.
of your youngest or your oldest daughter.
Oh,
my
3
baby
years
center.
ago, I shared a meme that says that one child likes to test your gangster. That's my daughter. That's my inner gangster to this day. But she's
And
lucky
then-
I reformed.
13 years ago.
13 years ago,
We got matching tattoos.
we all did.
We
Yeah.
did.
So I have matching tattoos with Mom, Beth, and myself.
Yeah.
Then I have matching tattoos with the 3 of you. And then Brian and I have a matching tattoo.
Right there.
The Harry Potter one. And then I have a matching tattoo with my best friend. I have a lot of matching tattoos. But I have my own tattoos too, guys.
So do I. I think,
So it's that.
Do I have more
that one
tattoos
on
than you now?
Yeah, you probably do. I started off with a bang, and then I haven't gotten
Yeah.
tattooed. And my Marvel tattoos, the first one I got, it was like a 10-year gap between.
Mine was like a
tattoos for me.
7-year gap.
And I got that one. How long ago I get that one?
And I
Yeah,
got
so
2.
three-
then I got
3 years
back to
ago?
back to back.
3 years ago? 3
What
years
does that
ago.
give me? 7? 8?
I've
7 or
got
8?
one.
8, I think.
I think I still
1,
lead.
2,
I still lead the
3,
pack.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 now.
I only got 5.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I told you, come with me. So I'm working on a book sleeve right now. So I told you guys I like to read books. So I've got 2 that are part of my books. Well, technically 3 because this is a Harry Potter one. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to get another Harry Potter one too.
Well, see, I'd have another one. Because I asked my brother to design this tattoo for me about probably 10 years ago at this point. So if there's anyone out there
Oh
that
my
can
god.
design for me, kind of like, I want like a pinup girl, like not like the sexified ones. Like I want one like in 1920s catcher's equipment, like from like League of Their Own, 1940s. Like League of Their Own style, like softball uniform or baseball uniform, and the old school catcher's gear, like holding one of the old style catcher's helmets.
Why don't
That's
you
what I
just
want.
ask a tattoo artist?
I know. My tattoo artist could probably do that for you. She is great. She designed
Absolutely.
both my tattoos.
You
No, all
know
3 of
that?
them.
Have you seen the new like AI tattoo generator?
Yeah.
I totally downloaded it, except they want you to pay $35.
Yeah, no.
Also, if I could ask you not to do AI, I would, because that takes so much away from actual artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, because
it's
you know,
great,
I just haven't gotten tattoos
but like,
in forever.
let your tattoo artist do it.
I could.
Because also AI,
But
you know
here's-
what they're going to
here's
do is if somebody else looks for that image, they're just going to reprogram it. Or
So
reprocess
here's
it.
the thing. Here's the thing that I would do. I would say I'm yes and no to that, but I would say, hey, listen, I would take that AI image and then I would send it to a tattoo artist. Say, hey, this is kind of the concept I want, but I want you to use your own artistic freedom to come up with something just
Yeah,
within the
I-
realm of this.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
And
so
also,
that
if you're
gives
gonna
them
use
like
AI, if you're going to use AI for something that you were not going to use, an artist for, like, there's no way you were going to use an artist for it in the first place, fine. But, like, voice actors are really worried about AI, artists are really worried about AI, and I am worried for them.
I can understand that. So while you guys count, I have 11 tattoos.
Getting there.
I have 11.
I'm getting there.
So
I'll be there by the end of the year.
I think my next step is I'm gonna go for ear piercing. So there's one.
I want to get my nose.
So there.
I miss those.
So there's one thing that I have always been passionate about, and that is gauges. And I would like to start gauging my ears, but not like huge, but maybe smaller than a dime. You know, probably we're talking probably like that big if you guys can see that. But like that's just something I've always just wanted to do, and I feel like I already got big earlobes anyways.
That's like with my hair. Like I've always wanted to dye my hair, and once I started working from home, it was like one of the first things I did.
But I have 11 tattoos. My tattoos consist of different things.
Yeah, yours are all very different.
So I have.
They're very different too.
So I have kind of. This is the one that I get the most compliments on. One, because we're in the South, and so obviously we're in like that Bible Belt area, and so I have John 3:16 tatted on my left forearm. I have a kind of a anime style dragon wrapped around my right forearm, and so I'm waiting to go back and see him because I'm very big on like I want the artist to finish his work, right? So I want him to color it, but I would like a matching dragon up top because I want dueling dragons. And so this has been kind of labeled like my Jesus arm because I have John 3:16 here, but I also have a crucifix up here that I got right around when Grandma passed away. Like literally like the day before at that. And then I got my first tattoos on the back of my arms, which are like little tribal wings that I super regret. It was my first tattoo when I turned 18. Sorry guys, they paid for them.
I regret my first tattoo too.
And then
I didn't pick out your first tattoo. Look, the fact that I brought you guys with me is not my fault.
We were supposed to get matching tattoos and you chickened out. As my tattoo was getting started, you decided you were going to get a tattoo. So then you got your little flower tattoo, and I got my tattoo, and it's the only one that I will eventually cover.
It's a decision you made at one point.
And that was another thing. We listened to our mom about not going to like
go to a big one.
Oh yeah, go to a big popular tattoo shop
and spent way too much money.
Way too much money on the worst tattoo that I have on my entire body.
Yeah,
mine's not my worst. Mine's really good. My worst tattoo I also spent too much money on and went to a big name tattoo.
Yeah.
Carrie Hart, is that?
No, Hart and Huntington.
Hart and Huntington, but Carrie Hart, right?
Well, Pink's husband. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his tattoo thing. And it's actually my Harry Potter one. Is the worst one I have. I'm actually going to see if Tasha will.
Yeah, so I have those, and then I have.
I didn't move for that one. That one didn't hurt at all.
Yeah, I know I have.
But when you just know when you do a walk-in for a tattoo, there's a good chance you're going to get an apprentice, and I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah.
Because yours is way better than
mine. Mine came out a lot better.
Yeah.
Mine's a lot cleaner. So I also have like just the word strength on my back, like across my shoulders, which I got at what's that tattoo shop in Syracuse? Working Class Tattoos. That was probably my most painful. The one on my back because I was laying down, and I think it was the artist because the artist was like was digging into my back, and so
he's the one that did ours, isn't he?
Yeah.
One of mine, but I think it was the guy that did my Ninja Turtle, Jeremiah, I think his name was.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. I love him.
Yeah, but no, the big guy is the one that did the matching tattoo that we all got. But he did the one on my back, and
that one was the worst for me, right above my ankle.
He was like digging in my back, so I was like on the verge of tears, crying because it hurt so much. And typically, like the tattoos don't hurt.
Didn't hurt me at all, but mine's just a small quote.
Yeah, mine goes across. Yeah, mine goes across like shoulder blade to shoulder blade, and then I got the little Japanese, logo or writing for strength above it, which I forget that I have sometimes until I take my shirt off and I look in the mirror. Like I forgot I had it until I was trying shirts on at Target the other day.
I figured I have that one with Beth and Mom.
Yeah, I got another one on the back of my right knee.
I don't know the Harry Potter, but if I get it to look better, it won't be.
That I got from like one of those Friday the 13th sales. It's a little tiny cross, and then it says God is greater than the heavens and the earth. And then I got a little Rebel logo. This was my first tattoo in Tennessee. I got a little Rebel logo. I got this one with you downtown in Nashville. And then at Old Soul Tattoo, I got my one and only colored tattoo on the side of my leg here, which is my Tampa Bay Bucks tattoo with the 2 Vince Lombardi trophies. This is probably one of the only tattoos like that I've like super dedicated and drawn. other than like my first one. Everything else has been like I planned this generic idea. I did do and then I got the matching one across my chest over my heart. I did, which is in almost the same style that I did this one. I think this is the one I love the most. One because I love Tampa Bay. Oh, Tara's texting me. Yeah, and then I have my King's Crown.
Did she text you?
Oh, Tara's talking because
what about our wedding tattoo?
What about
Yeah.
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 Nothing to you.
Did you forget?
No, I kind of did though. I'll be completely honest. I kind of did forget.
How dare you?
I know. So
Wow, Ryan.
Wow, I know. So Tara and I have matching tattoos. She's got a Queen's Crown. I have a King's Crown. And I messed this one up, and I felt so bad because I got this like a day or two or whatever after we had gotten married. And then like a week later, we moved down here, and we went in Mom and Dad's pool, and it wasn't completely healed. So it's super faded and everything. And I think Tara did the same thing, but hers isn't as bad because I think hers is just an outline and mine actually got like filled in, you know. But that was honestly my back was definitely the worst. Like this one hurt, but this one only took like 30 minutes, you know, and Joey was the one that did this one too. So kind of as a wedding gift.
Let's bring it back. Facebook memories.
Facebook memories. Sorry,
the tattoos was my big one, and then let's see.
I've got a bone to pick with our father on mine.
Oh yeah, that's a big.
9 years ago, I was at work all week. It must have been when I was going through a divorce and living at my parents' house. So, because my dad ate all my Captain Crunch.
Oh, how dare!
Because I got a peanut butter. I get home.
The peanut butter kind?
Yeah, peanut butter.
Oh, son of a bitch!
You've been working all week because you got inventory, so you haven't been home, and you're like, oh man, I got peanut butter Captain Crunch. Score.
Oh.
4 bowl, 5 little balls come out of the box. Dot, dot, dot. Thanks, Dad.
Why would you do that?
So rude.
You sadistic M.
You psychopath.
Psychopath. Fine.
Who does that? Oh my god. That just reminded me of something else.
It reminded me of something too. So talking about your divorce, your first wife, you guys were living with us, and I was pregnant, and I had bought myself some oatmeal raisin cookies.
Oh, dude.
Because nobody liked oatmeal raisin cookies.
Them fake ass chocolate chips.
Yeah, nobody liked them. And I was pregnant, and I was like, I will get these cookies all to myself. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. And I got home from work one day ready to tear that shit up, and there was one cookie, and I cried and yelled. I was so.
I think it was like, I don't even fucking like them. I can yell that for.
I was so mad.
Oh man,
I was mad. I was hungry. I was hangry.
She just anybody walked up to full Batman. Where are the cookies?
Where are they?
She just walked in. Don't they stop my shit? Like, but no, that reminds me 2 stories. One, when we were growing up in New York, and I think it was a bowl of Apple Jacks.
Oh, and it was her ex-wife that ate them all.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to pour a bowl of cereal, and I pour this bowl of cereal, and something drops out of the cereal box. And I'm thinking, I'm a kid. I'm like, something drops out of the cereal. I was like, it's a prize. We got a prize. And I look at it, it's a fucking mouse. And I was like, like, cue the, huh?
What happened? What did you say?
Like that. That's exactly what happened. And so I freak out, right? And so obviously we had a mouse problem. So it was not the computer mouse that I always wanted. And that's where my technological interest started, is because I got a mouse as a prize, but not the mouse I really wanted. But yeah, there was that. And then when Tara was pregnant, we were living in our house, and it was a Sunday morning. And
see Tara in the corner right now, just shaking her like, I can't believe he's gonna tell this story.
Yeah, and I love this story because it's hilarious.
I love this story too.
And so usually,
I also understand this story.
So we're sitting, and usually on Sunday mornings, right? We're big football fans. We sit down and we're getting ready for football, and we're like, man, we really want some breakfast. So I went out to McDonald's, right? And I know Tara's order, top of my head, right? She wanted a bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle with a round egg instead of a folded egg, and she wanted a sausage burrito with mild sauce.
Her
My.
Total judgment on the round egg. I hate the round egg.
Anyways, I go, I pick it up, grab it, I start driving home, right? I check.
Because you just check to make sure that the sandwiches are there. You want to make sure that you're going to be
Insert Tara eye roll here.
Yeah, right. So I check. I'm just looking to see everything is there because I've never had an issue, right? And so I check and everything's there. I'm like, full of sandwiches, whatever, blah, blah. I get home and I hand out the food. I give her hers. I take mine. I start eating mine. And she opens the McGriddle wrapper. It's a McGriddle wrapper. Mm-hmm. She opens it up and it's a biscuit. And she just loses it and she starts crying and everything. And here I am, like laughing. And
Did it have the round egg?
It did have the round egg.
Oh
it
my
did.
gosh.
They put it on a biscuit, and they charged me for a McGriddle. Like they charged me for a McGriddle, but they put it on a biscuit. And
here's the thing, okay? The wrappers aren't even close to the same.
No.
The wrapper is brown. A biscuit wrapper. So
I'm
like
earlier right now. You ready?
Earlier, we said we were all a McFamily. We've all worked for McDonald's for numbers of years.
This is what
A
happened.
biscuit wrapper is white.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happened. I'm tell you. Crap. We're out of McGriddles. I'll just use a biscuit. They'll never know.
She knew.
She knew. She definitely knew.
I mean,
Here's the worst part. The death stare that I got because I was like, so are you still gonna eat it? And she
Whatever stare you got, you deserved.
oh, 100%. 100%. Are you still, yeah. Are you still gonna eat? Yeah, I'm still gonna eat it. Okay, then. Sorry. Through the my bad. But yeah, those were the two stories that came to mind when talking about cereal and pregnancy,
Oh yeah.
food missing or orders gone wrong.
I was so mad.
Yeah.
Like just thinking about it, like the rage like simmers below the surface. Like just thinking about it.
That's like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
That's like 13 years ago.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that's all. I think that's all.
Yeah,
that
I think
got.
we ended there with our Facebook memories.
Yeah.
Maybe next time they'll be a little more cringy.
Yeah.
We were
Definitely.
always one for song lyrics and.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I can definitely say I'm 100% not the same person I was 13 years ago.
A lot of my early statuses are going to be hip hop lyrics, either Eminem or probably like a B.O.B., Lil Wayne, something like that. Like that's where most of mine are gonna be. But yeah,
Stuff will probably have a lot of my booth stuff. My kids' father was together for like 11 years, so there's probably gonna be a lot of.
I got some sappy stuff like that too. That's gonna be probably big.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah,
for
thanks
joining us
for
on the
joining.
Updownstate Podcast. Yeah, let us know if there's anything about our interest that you want us to talk about. Otherwise, enjoy the bullshit. Bye.
Peace out.
Yeah.